guys, it's Thursday night. I just wanted to come on live just to chat a little bit tonight. I did not bring my partner in crime, my hubby Ryan. Number one, he's on a call, but number two, to be honest, he can't relate to this topic at all. Why he can't relate to this topic? I don't know. No. Why my husband is not on the call with me and why he can't relate to this topic is because he's never dealt with this problem. He's never had this in his life and he's never dealt with this issue. I was actually talking to a friend of mine today who is, she's on the battle to get as healthy as she can. And she's battled it her whole life, just like I have. She's not as far along the battling path as I am, obviously, but she still battles it every single day. She's always still trying to up her health game as much as possible. Hey, Reba, miss you. Anyway, so she is battling. She's been battling her whole life since she was a little girl, same like I did. She actually had a much rougher go at it than I did when I was younger. So with her, she suffered from bullying a lot and things like that, and that made her turn to food. For me, I started turning to food, I think before I was 15. When I was a little girl, I was not overweight at all. I was actually pretty thin. But then I used to start to try to eat as much as my brother. I don't know why. It started when I was 10 or 11. I always was jealous of him. And so I was like, well, if he's eating 3 pieces of pizza, I should get to eat 3 pieces of pizza. Well, he was almost 3 years older than I am. And he also was a boy, not a girl. But anyway, so I started down this slippery slope, I think around probably by the time I was 13, 14, of binging, number one, binge eating, number one, number two, hiding it. So a lot of people do binge and they never talk about it. And a lot of people also think they're hiding what they're eating in the closet. So I was a closet eater. For anyone that doesn't know what a closet eater is, it means you're eating secretly. So how many of you, and whether you admit this or not, it's up to you. When I finally admitted some of these demons, that's when I finally really got healthy, by admitting the demons. So some of the demons was, I've been with my husband since we were 19, and he would always say, I don't understand why you're overweight. I don't get it. You hardly ever eat anything. And actually, my mother-in-law is watching this too, and she used to say the same thing to me. But what nobody ever really realized, even my own mom, that I binged eat, and I did it secretly always. Ryan never knew I had any kind of eating disorder because he never saw me eat any of the bad stuff because I didn't do it in front of him. So where I did it, I know almost every single person, whether you have a problem with weight or not, you eat in your car. So what I ate in my car never registered in my brain. And it also never registered anywhere else except on my body. So this is true confessions tonight. When I was in the throes of just not caring at all and just eating whatever I wanted, I remember leaving my place of work. Thanks, Cindy. You and I both battled with the M&M game for real. I did not know that you would eat the whole bag. I used to eat a pounder bag of them. And when I look at that now, I'm like, who the heck in their right mind can eat a whole pound bag of M&Ms in one day or one sitting? But I sure did. And I didn't even the worst part of it was it didn't even register in my brain when I did it. It was like an out-of-body experience. If any of you have ever binged or are a closet eater, it's a numbing device, and it's also, you have no idea you're doing it. So I would watch TV when I would do it at home, but I only did it when Ryan wasn't home or if Alec was in his room. So for a lot of our marriage, Ryan wasn't home a lot. He worked a lot at the station, and he also, produced the Raven. So he was gone a lot. And those were always the days I ate more when Ryan wasn't here. It was licensed to eat whatever I wanted. And I thought I was hiding what I was doing, but honestly, how are you hiding that you're eating like that when you're obese? You're really not, because obviously I had a problem. But I never recognized it. I never talked to anyone about it. And when I started getting healthy this time, I still really never talked about it. Ryan had no idea that I had that problem because I still never talked about it. But so I'm going to share this. I share this with some of my clients, and some of my coaches know this. Not even a year. I got to my goal weight in February of 2015. And in December of that year, so I guess it was almost 6-7 months of being at goal weight, just feeling so good and never having a problem. I never binged that whole time I was losing weight. I never even had one bite off program because it was so easy to not do that. And then it was like the first week of December in 2015, and I still had a chocolate business at that time. And I don't know what happened. I wish I could remember what triggered it, because I never want it to ever be a trigger again. But something triggered me, and I like lost my mind all over again. I was already a health coach. I was helping tons of people really successfully. I had kept my weight off already 6 months. And then out of nowhere, thanks, Gail. Sometimes like I feel like I sometimes forget to share some of the inner demons and some of the really hard stuff. And then everyone thinks like everything's always perfect, and nobody's life is perfect. No one's. I don't care who you are or who you think like you see on Facebook. No one's life is perfect. So anyway, it was like first week of December of that year. And so it wasn't at holiday time. I think Hanukkah was the same time as Christmas that year. There was nothing going on. I didn't go to a party. I don't know what happened, but it was triggered. And for 5 days in a row, I was triggered and I binged 5 days straight. And for any of you that have ever binged food, you can eat an enormous amount of food when you're binging like that, and you can gain an enormous amount of weight in a really short time if you have a problem with food. Now, Ryan, who's never had a weight problem, first of all, he would never eat like binging like I did, and he would never eat that amount of food. But if he did, if he would have gained 1 pound, that would have probably been, a miracle. Like Ryan probably wouldn't have gained anything. But if you've been obese and you've had a weight problem and you binge for 5 days straight, like I was kind of like crazy person. I didn't want to talk on the phone. I started getting back in my old ways of like hibernating and not wanting to take pictures and not wanting to be out and about and like talk to people. Well, then what I did was so smart. I'm gonna give myself credit. It was so smart what I finally did. You know what I did? I said to Ryan and I said to Alec, and Alec was, I guess, 15 at the time. I said, guys, I have a problem. I said, the past 5 days I've been eating, you guys don't know, but I've been eating a lot of crap, because even though we don't keep a lot of crap in our house, we do keep one drawer for Alec of some stuff. And I still had my chocolate business. And in December, chocolate businesses were really busy. So I had a lot of junk in my house at that time. And I actually copped to what I was doing for the first time ever. I said to Ryan, please don't leave me alone downstairs. Even if you have to stay down here with me till midnight while I'm working my chocolate business, I want you to watch me like a hawk for 24/7. I want you to stay here. I want you to watch me, and I don't want you to leave me alone. And then I also told Alec, and I'm going to admit right here, I did not tell my health coach. I did not call her and say, I'm failing, I need help. Which that was a really stupid thing that I didn't do. That was stupid. But I did do some smart things. I copped to it to my husband, who I'd never ever told before, and I told Alec. And the other thing I did was I called two clients that were coaches on my team, and I told them I needed extreme accountability, and I sent them both my scale weight. And then I said, guys, this is what I'm committing to. I'm going to go for 10 days. Go back on program 100% and like 100% for 10 days. And I'm going to get, kind of right the ship. And after 7 days on our program, I was right back to myself. I stopped craving the chocolate that I let in my life. And I felt good. And I want to tell you this is really important part of the story. I gained 12 pounds in 5 days of binging and eating whatever I wanted. Can you guys imagine, seriously, 12 pounds in 5 days? After keeping 76 pounds off for almost 6-7 months. So I was freaked out. Some of my clothes were already getting tight, and I was scared to death because I'd been down this path. I had lost 65 pounds 3 times. I had lost 50 pounds a few times, and I saw it slipping away, and I said, no, not this time. This time you wanted to be healthy for the rest of your life. This time you wanted to stay off the blood pressure medicine. This time you didn't want to fall down like you had on every other program. So this time I had to do a lot of things differently. I had to cop to my husband and tell him what I was doing. We have been together since we were 19, and I never had told him this. Telling Alec was easy, and I said, and Alec's like, sure, I'll help you, whatever. but also telling those two women coaches on my team who looked to me as a leader and helping them lose weight, and then I had to tell them that I was failing. That was hard. That was really hard to tell two coaches on my own team that the person they look up to was not somebody to look up to anymore. And you know what? And we always inside our head of in shame and all this. Well, they didn't shame me. They said, we got you. We got you. And you're going to be fine. And you know what? After that period of time when that happened to me, I never let it happen again. But I don't think if I would have, number one, if I wasn't feeling like failing and I didn't tell people, it probably would have happened to me again since then, and it hasn't. But I also put a lot of rules in my life to make sure it doesn't. So here's something I share with a lot of my clients, because they always say, well, do you ever eat anything? And I'm like, yeah. So one of the things I love to eat is cupcakes. I do. I love cupcakes. I'm not going to lie. And every once in a while I want one, but it's every once in a while. It's one. I can't eat it in the car. I can't eat it by myself. I have to bring it home. I have to eat it in front of Ryan or my son with a fork like a human being, and I have to cop to it. And if it doesn't taste good, I throw it away. I literally throw it away. Today, here's a prime example. Today, I got Starbucks for Ryan and myself and our friend Marcus because he was cutting Ryan's hair. And I think they made it wrong. And so I was worried that it didn't have, that it might have had too much sugar in it and it didn't taste good. It's not what I normally order. But I really wanted the coffee. I dumped the whole thing down the sink because even though I wanted it, it didn't taste like how I like it. So I said, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to me. Before getting healthy, I used to eat cupcakes that were stale. They could have been 2 days old. They could have been disgusting. I would eat them and I'd put the whole thing through my body. So there's a couple other things I put into place to maintain my weight because people are always asking how this time was different. The other things I put in place in my life is I so honest about my journey with everyone, number one. Number two, I never go more than 2 days ever of eating something that's unhealthy. So I go on cruises sometimes. I've been on 7-day, 10-day cruises. After 2 days, if I'm eating a little unhealthy or drinking, which drinking for me, you guys, I'm going to be honest, drinking is not a thing for me. I know it is for other people. For me, it really isn't. Even the drinks I do like, they really look like dessert. Dessert has always been my thing. Food really it wasn't a problem for me either. But so even on a cruise, you're not going to find me eating unhealthy more than 2 days. It's my steadfast rule because I never want to go down that cycle again that happened to be that first December. I want you to know it's a battle that you will be in the rest of your life if you've ever had this problem. But you have to get real and you have to get honest. And the friend that I was talking today, she finally did that. She's in a meeting type setting where they're really honest about some of these things, and it's helping her for the first time because when you get honest about whatever it is for you, it doesn't mean getting healthy. It could be something else. It could be anything. There's okay, this is going to be really brutally honest too. This is not for me. My marriage is really good. Ryan and I contend for our marriage every single day. We work on personal growth and marriage goals, and we have a really strong marriage, probably stronger than it's ever been. But I know some of you don't. But you don't cop to it. You don't talk about the feelings. You don't try to work it through. And it's really setting you up to do other things. So when you have other things going wrong in your life and you have a food problem, you might turn towards food instead of solving the problem. So whatever it is, try to figure out what the underlying problem is that either makes you eat, makes you drink, there's a whole bunch of other things that people do. Some people, guys, I'm going to tell you honestly, the Netflix habit, binging Netflix for hours upon hours, you're avoiding something else in your life. I'm going to tell you honestly, I was doing that. I was a TV-aholic. I was a TV-aholic. My binges happened while this is the most ridiculous thing that I'm even sharing this, but I used to watch the Kardashians. I loved them. I loved keeping up with the Kardashians. And I would eat, Cindy Becker, I hope you're still on, I would eat my M&Ms watching the Kardashians. And I would eat a lot of M&Ms. And I didn't realize how many I ate. I was numbing myself with food and television. And then once I started getting healthy on this program, one of our mentors, he said to me early on, he said, do you want to keep watching the Kardashians live their life of their dreams, or do you want to have the life of your dreams? And it was like a light bulb. Like, what the heck? Nobody ever told me that before. Like, maybe I could have the life I've always dreamt about. And look, I don't want to be the Kardashians, so it wasn't like I was dreaming about living their life. But I did want to dream of a life where I got to decide when and how I work and how much I work. And I get to decide if I want to do it at home or anywhere else. And I get to decide when I want to have a vacation and when I don't. I wanted that. And when he said to me, maybe stop dreaming and stop wishing and stop watching everyone else around you have a better life, or you think they have a better life, and start doing some action steps to better yours, and God knows where it could take you. I will always remember that day he said it to me. And we joke around a lot now that he's probably ruined a lot of viewers of that show, because he's now said it to like millions of us that are, getting healthy in our mind and our body and our finances. But yeah, I watched a lot of TV. And people, like, I still watch some, but I never eat in front of the TV ever. I will not eat and watch TV ever, including the Ravens. I used to eat a lot during the Ravens game. Ryan wasn't home during the Ravens game. Alec was very into the game, so he wouldn't notice what I was eating or what I wasn't. Because in our house, you can't eat on the sofa. So if he was sitting on the sofa and I was in the kitchen, he wouldn't see me eating what I was eating. So, there was that. And anything you eat in the car doesn't count. It got so bad at one point in my life, I would put chocolate in my purse and put it upstairs and eat it upstairs, knowing that Ryan wasn't going to come upstairs in the room while I was watching the Kardashians. So, but now we don't even have a TV in our room. I watch very, very little TV, and I'm a happier person for it. The other thing, this drives my mother crazy, but I don't watch the news. There's nothing good on it, and it's depressing. There's nothing I watch on the news. Sometimes Alec will update me about things that he really thinks I should know. And of course, in the land of Facebook and Twitter, you get news anyway. But I can't watch it. It makes me sad, and I just don't need that in my life. So whatever it is for you guys, Ryan could have heard me do this video, and it's fine. He just didn't. It's not because I'm hiding it. He can watch it later. But I said to him, he's like, do you want me to do that video with you, this live? I'm like, why? You've never had this problem in your life. You actually had the problem of you can't eat if you're not hungry. Well, until this program, I never knew what hungry was, because I never ate out of hunger. I ate out of emotion. Not always bad emotion either, guys. I don't want you to think like my whole life was just this big depressing mess. I also ate out of happy, like on Thanksgiving. It was my favorite holiday. I would eat for 24 hours straight. And some of these habits is like how you're born, how you're raised. In my family, food was love. The more they loved you, the more you ate together. But was it really love, especially when you get my age and then you're on blood pressure medicine and you have heart issues? It really doesn't feel like love anymore now at my age. I was sharing with a friend of mine that just recently started losing weight on the program. We were talking about snow, and I don't go out in the snow at all. First of all, I don't like the snow. I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't have to drive anymore. I can stay home and do my work and whatever else I need to do. But I just don't think it's pretty. I said to Ryan today, this is pretty funny. I said to Ryan, I feel like I'm in one of those escape rooms when it's winter. Like I can't get out, and I feel claustrophobic about it. So that's why eventually we are going to move somewhere where it doesn't snow. But anyway, I was sharing with my friend that when I was growing up, well, like when I was like 13, 14, my brother was like 16, 17. He had a Jeep. He was complete opposite of me. He drove in anything. He could have cared less. If it was snowing, he was the one that would pick people up, and we would go to the store, you guys, or 7-Eleven, but we didn't go for what does everybody in Baltimore go for now? I forget. Toilet paper, milk, eggs. I forget what the three things that we always joke about people in Baltimore or Maryland going to get. But my family never needed to go get those things. We always had eggs. My crazy mother had powdered milk that we could have if worse came to worse. And we always had toilet paper. My dad always, even now, I could go to their house and take rolls and they would never even know. They always have stockpile of those things. What we would go, me and my brother and my mother would drive either to 7-Eleven or the Giant, and we would get ice cream. Thank you. The bread. How could I forget the bread, Reba? Everybody goes for the bread and the milk and the toilet paper. I'm so glad you reminded me, Reba. I can't believe I forgot the holy grail, the bread. Anyway, we never went for that. We always had bread, and my dad, being a New Yorker, we always had bagels. We got Doritos, we got ice cream, we got slice and bake chocolate chip cookies, and we probably got Whoppers. And we all ate all that stuff. That's what we did. So when I first started getting healthy with the program, the first time like it was snowing, I would see those snowflakes coming down, and my first thought again was chocolate chips. You know, it was inbred in me. But what I didn't do now is I never, like, snow doesn't change. I still eat my healthy protein. I eat my vegetables. I eat my healthy food, because whether it's snowing or a regular day, it's still the same 24 hours. And I choose health pretty much every single day. Every once in a while, I'll choose something that I like, but it's not out of emotion now. It's not out of a binge. It's not out of stress. It's just because, of course, you're never going to go the rest of your life with never having whatever it is for you. There are some things that I used to love that I never will have again. I used to love fried chicken. That's not something I eat just because it's truly not healthy and it doesn't do my heart any good. But anyway, so yeah, Marsha, you're a big soup person. I know you love your soup when it snows, but you actually make the soup from scratch and you actually put vegetables in it. So that's not what I used to want to make matzo ball soup with noodles. So anyway, you guys, I just really wanted to share that with you, because I have a feeling there's a lot of you that are like me, and it's not just women. I know that for a fact. Men do it too. Probably the only reason my brother wasn't heavy is because he loved going to the gym. He loved playing sports. He was into working out. These are things that I have never, ever, ever been into, as you know, when Ryan makes fun of me not wanting to do the gym. But I try to at least get movement and things like that. And I am trying to get into some kind of routine, with working out, because it's just heart healthy and that's what I'm about. But whatever it is for you, just maybe have a real conversation with yourself of what you're doing to your body and what you're not, and realize that we only have this one chance, this one body, and how do you want to live it? But anyway, that's it, you guys. I hope it was helpful to some of you, and I appreciate any of you giving me just your love and your support, because we all need that in our life. So have a good night. And I hope you stay. I hope the weekend's not bad for anyone with the snow. And if it is, just stay inside and be safe.